91 pounds of tomatoes from 4 square feet of ground. Surprised. That number has been independently confirmed 3 times now, and it still doesn't seem right. The average American gardener grows about 8 pounds of tomatoes per plant. They use a wire cage, a hybrid transplant, a bag of synthetic fertilizer, and overhead watering. That is the system the hardware store teaches. Sarcastic. It is also the system that cuts yield by 30 to 50% before the soil does a single thing. The cage is the first problem. Most gardeners never find out because they never grow the same plant without one. There is one planting step that the hardware store never mentions. It takes 5 extra minutes. It builds the root system before a single leaf opens.
And it is the reason a 4x4 bed in Lancaster County has produced over 90 pounds of tomatoes every season for 22 consecutive years. You will know exactly what it is before this is over, and you can do it today if you have a plant in the ground right now. For 8 seasons, I grew tomatoes the way I was taught. Wire cage, hybrid transplant, synthetic fertilizer, overhead watering. Every year the yields shrank. I assumed the problem was my soil. It was, but the soil was the last problem. The first problem was the cage. I spent 8 seasons not knowing that. A caged or sprawling tomato produces 30 to 50% of the yield of a single stem vertical plant. Same variety, same square footage, same season. The cage cuts the harvest in half before the soil does anything. The Israelites farmed in terraced 5x5 plots with vertical training and deep organic soil. That system is documented. Every technique in it has a modern science parallel.
And there is one planting step most gardeners skip entirely, a method that builds the root system before a single leaf opens, that changes every number on the harvest. May morning in Holmes County. Miriam is planting. She digs a hole 12 inches deep in her 4x4 raised bed, deeper than most people would expect. She sets the tomato transplant in the hole so that only the top 4 inches of the plant show above the soil surface. Everything below that, 8 inches of stem, goes underground. She does this without hesitation. She has done it this way for 22 years. Leviticus 25:3-4 says, 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in its fruits. But in the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land. Pruning and rest. These are not poetic suggestions. They are physical instructions, how a productive plant is managed and how land recovers between growing cycles. The biblical farmer understood that a plant pruned to one stem outproduces a plant allowed to sprawl. He understood that land not rested accumulates disease. Call this root currency. Every node on a tomato stem buried underground becomes an adventitious root. Bury 8 inches of stem and you build a root system twice the size of a surface-planted transplant. More roots mean more water uptake, more nutrient absorption, more energy available for fruit. The plant is not trying to grow leaves, it is feeding the fruit. Think of the root system as a bank account. A surface-planted tomato opens an account with a small deposit. A deep-planted tomato opens the same account with 3 times the deposit. Both plants face the same season. The one with more roots ends it with more tomatoes. The math is that simple. What breaks this is the wire cage. Cage growing forces the plant to sprawl and branch in every direction. Plant energy divides among dozens of stems, hundreds of leaves, and a fraction of the fruit a single vertical stem would carry. Commercial hybrids like Celebrity or Better Boy are disease-resistant enough to produce some fruit even from a cage. They just produce half as much. And the cage hides that cost because the gardener never sees what the same plant would have done trained vertically. Pick up a handful of soil from your current garden bed. Squeeze it in your fist. Open your hand. If it crumbles apart immediately, the soil is too sandy and will not hold water or nutrients long enough for a deep root system to use. If it stays in a solid ball and will not move, it is too clay-heavy and will suffocate roots. If it holds briefly, then crumbles gently when you press it, you have the structure the system needs. Most American garden soils fail this test. The biblical raised bed system bypasses native soil entirely. You build the growing medium in a contained bed, the same way the Israelites built terraces to create productive ground on hillsides that never had it. build one 4x4 raised bed 12 inches deep. Fill it with 50% compost and 50% topsoil. Free compost is available from most municipal yard waste programs. Call and ask before buying anything. The bed itself is $40 to $80 one time. That soil does not care what your native ground looks like. It is new ground. The root system you build this season determines the harvest, and the harvest is determined before the first fruit appears on the vine. What your soil test revealed matters beyond this season. Sandy soil drains nutrients before the deep root system can absorb them. Clay soil suffocates those roots before they establish. Neither can be fixed quickly in a native bed. Both become irrelevant in a raised bed filled with 50% compost. That is why the terrace existed. Not tradition, not decoration. Practical bypass of whatever ground you started with. A documented growing trial tracked 6 indeterminate early girl tomato plants in a 20-square-foot intensive system. Over 100 pounds of tomatoes were harvested using 5 specific techniques: warm soil, deep planting, single-stem pruning, vertical training, and soil-level watering only. 5 pounds per square foot. That number holds at 4 square feet with 2 to 3 well-managed plants, but only if all 5 conditions are met. Indeterminate variety, vertical stake, sucker removal every 4 days, deep planting, no overhead water. 5 conditions, not 4. In Lancaster County, Miriam's grandmother planted the same way. Same raised bed location, same deep planting method, same single-stem stake. That bed has been in continuous production since 1961, 63 seasons. The soil has never been depleted because compost goes back in every fall. Disease pressure has never accumulated because tomatoes rotate to a different bed position every year. That is Leviticus 25 applied annually rather than every 7 years. The Sabbath principle working on a 1-year cycle instead of 7. Isaiah 5:2 says, "He dug it and cleared it of stones and planted it with choice vines. He built a watchtower in the midst of it." A watchtower, not a spray program. Daily observation. The single most important factor in tomato success, the reason Miriam finds every early blight spot before it spreads, is 5 minutes of daily inspection, lower leaves first. God prescribed it in Isaiah 5. The Amish have practiced it without interruption for over 200 years. If you have a tomato plant growing right now, go look at it. Find where any branch meets the main stem. Look at the 45-degree angle between them, the armpit of that junction. If there is a small shoot growing there, that is a sucker. Pinch it off right now with your fingers. You just redirected that plant's entire energy budget from leaf production to fruit production. If you do that every 4 days, from the moment the plant reaches 18 inches, you will see the difference in your harvest before the season ends. From this point forward, 1 stem per plant. Drive a 6-foot stake before planting. Before, not after, to avoid disturbing the roots you are about to build. Tie the single stem loosely to the stake as it grows. Remove every shoot in every branch junction every 4 days without exception. Most people who start this remove suckers twice and then stop because the shoots seem small and harmless. A sucker left for 1 week becomes a full branch. A full branch divides the plant's energy. The plant grows 6 feet tall and produces 15 tomatoes. Miriam's plant grows 6 feet tall and produces 60. The only difference is 4 seconds of pinching every 4 days. Miriam pulls 91 pounds from 4 square feet. She counts the harvest every season because she still does not quite believe the number herself. She has done this for 22 years. She is not surprised anymore. She is just confirming what she already knows will happen. The modern nursery sells a different system. Hybrid transplants at $8 to $15 each, required annually because hybrid seed does not reproduce true. Synthetic NPK fertilizer that feeds the plant while bypassing the soil biology underneath it. Fungicide spray programs that address disease symptoms without eliminating their cause. Wire cages that constrain the plant's natural vertical growth habit and cut yield by 30 to 50%. Every piece of that system creates next year's purchase. That is not an accident. That is the design. After watering your tomatoes today, come back in 30 minutes and look at the underside of the lower leaves. If they are wet, you are watering incorrectly and early blight is already working in your garden. The lower leaves of a correctly watered tomato plant should be dry within 20 minutes of watering. If they are wet, switch to a soaker hose at soil level today. That one change eliminates the primary mechanism of early blight, soil splash landing on leaves during overhead watering, almost entirely. Here's the full picture. One 4x4 raised bed, 12 inches deep, 50% compost, and 50% topsoil. Plant one indeterminate tomato, early girl, Cherokee purple, any open-pollinated heirloom, buried 8 inches deep, with only the top 4 inches showing above soil. Drive a 6-foot stake before planting. From week 3 forward, remove every sucker and every branch junction every 4 days. Water at soil level only. Soaker hose under 2 inches of straw mulch. 5 minutes of daily inspection, lower leaves first, every single day. When the season ends, pull the plants, compost the material, and do not plant tomatoes in that same position next year. Move to a second bed and let the first rest. In 10 minutes today, you have pressed a 6-foot stake into the soil next to your biggest plant. In 7 days of consistent suckering, one straight stem grows up the stake with no lateral branching. That is the sign the system is running. In 30 days, first green tomatoes form on the lower trusses. In 1 full season, you harvest from 4 square feet what you used to harvest from 20. If your tomatoes flower but do not set fruit, temperature is outside the production range. Below 55 degrees at night or above 90 degrees during the day stops pollination. Ecclesiastes 3:2 says there is a time to plant. That time is not approximate. Wait until nighttime temperatures hold consistently above 55 before transplanting out. If your plant is 6 feet tall with only 15 tomatoes, suckers were not removed early enough. Identify every remaining shoot and cut it with clean scissors today. It is not too late to redirect. If blossom end rot appears, dark leathery patch at the bottom of the fruit, your watering schedule is inconsistent. The calcium is in the soil but cannot be absorbed when moisture fluctuates. Soaker hose on a timer solves this almost completely. The deep planting method most gardeners skip is the root system that feeds everything above it. 8 inches of stem underground becomes a root network that a surface-planted tomato cannot match. That is the root currency. That is what Miriam built 22 seasons ago and has been drawing on ever since. The average gardener spends $8 to $15 per tomato plant from the nursery every spring, $20 to $30 in fertilizer and fungicide, and grows cage-trained plants that produce at half their capacity. After 1 season with this system, seed cost is 0 if you saved open-pollinated seed. Compost comes from the plants themselves. Disease pressure drops because the bed rested. Yield doubles. 1 4x4 bed, 1 stem per plant. Deep planting, daily inspection, soil level water, annual rotation. That is the complete system. 3 to 4 hours of setup and 5 minutes per day. The Israelite gardener on a terraced hillside above Jerusalem used the same structure without calling it a raised bed. He used the same vertical training without calling it single-stem pruning. He used the same Sabbath rotation without calling it disease management. He did not need a name for any of it. He had the law. Proverbs 27:27 says, "You will have enough goat's milk to feed your family." The land provides when you work it with the wisdom God gave for working it. Not more than that. Not a product line, not a catalog subscription. The design was already complete before the first hardware store opened. In the next hour, do this. Go to your tomato bed and drive a 6-foot stake into the ground next to the main stem of your biggest plant. Tonight, look at every branch junction on every tomato you are growing. Pinch off every shoot growing at a 45-degree angle in the armpit of any junction. Do not leave a single one. Tomorrow morning, water at the base only. No overhead. Come back 30 minutes later and check the undersides of the 3 lowest leaves. Your one goal this week: build or source 1 4x4 raised bed and fill it 12 inches deep with 50% compost and 50% topsoil. That is the foundation. Everything else builds from it. And the one thing not to do right now, plant a determinate variety in this system. Determinate tomatoes produce all their fruit at once and stop growing. Look for the word indeterminate on every seed packet and transplant tag. That one word is the difference between this system working and it producing nothing you didn't already expect. If this is the kind of proven system you've been looking for, subscribe to Biblical Harvest. Drop your age below if you've been gardening for over 10 years. I read every comment. Miriam in Lancaster County, 22 seasons, same 4x4 bed, 91 pounds last summer. She counts every harvest because she still can't quite believe it. You know why now. The vine produces what the root can feed. Build the root first.